Hey guys, I'm Aaron Martens here in my 2018 Phoenix. I'm running 2 SOLIX 15s this year and a 12 here for my mapping. We're at Lake Chatug. This is where we had the AOI championship, and there was a lot of graphing going on here. I was focused on brush piles of like 20 to 30 feet, and but I was just going to show you how I use them a little bit. On a lake like this, Chatug, there's a lot of nothing, as you can see, and this is obviously the brighter stuff's gonna be a good firm bottom, and there's not really a lot of silt on this lake unless you get off the brakes and or in some areas it'll get dark color. Like out here, you got some darkness coming in. Obviously, that's gonna be your softer ground, and I'm looking for more of the brighter stuff with brush piles. And these brush piles are like a tree. They're not really like cedar or something that's like a heavy mass. They're a light mass. They have a small stalk on them, but a lot of the trees here had green, like leaves on them. I don't know if necessarily they're green, but they're fresh trees. And so a lot of times they'd show up as like, they looked like bait or a cloud. But the trick this week was actually looking for the stick in the cloud. So a lot of times these SOLIXs have phenomenal pictures, and during the day I'll adjust it. They're really nice because you can just go up here and touchscreen. And you see my sensitivity and contrast is at 15, my chart speed's at 5, which, I'm looking at 20 to 30 feet of water. The deeper you go, usually I'd like to slow my chart speed down. There's a nice brush pile there, what shows up like. And then as you go shallower, you speed your chart speed up. So I might go 6 or 7 sometimes, but right now 5 is about right. Contrast, you can play with a little bit, and all you're trying to do is kind of get this image in as sharp, as clear as possible. And the really cool thing about Humminbird is you can really do a manual adjustment, and a lot of graphs, they don't let you do that. There's some fish right there. That's what fish look like when they're sitting on the bottom. But I'll go back and forth on the contrast. I think 15 is about right. And then sensitivity, if you go too high, a lot of times you can bring the contrast down on different lakes. It may help you determine what you're looking at. But right now I'm keeping about 14, 15 on sensitivity, and that's going to vary a little bit as the day goes on, or as early morning till later in the day. A lot of times I kind of fine tune my contrasts and sensitivity. But you see my screen, I have it on here. It's a split 3 ways. I got my sonar 2D down scan and my side imagery, and then, I'm just looking for these things right here. If you see out here, you have a little cloud or shadow. Right now we're not really near any big good brush piles, but you can see a little bit of rock mixed in there. But once you get it dialed in, that's what we do out here. We kind of get dialed in, focus, and it changes, like I said, lake to lake, it's clarity of the lake. How deep you're fishing or looking, it's going to determine what your chart speed is and maybe what your sensitivity is. But these are really easy to work. Extremely happy with them. I'm running next year. You can do touchscreen or you can do manual settings, button settings over here. But phenomenal units. Very happy with them. They work really, really well. You can actually see fish really good on them too. But that's what I've been working with all year, and it'll probably look just like this next year. I'm very happy with how it's worked.